Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience as you got the new link. Hey, Connor, how are you? Welcome. Let's see who else is mine. Michelle, Laura, Sophia, and Shadab. I hope I got that right. All right, you guys, we're going to wait for just another moment. These folks are catching up.
Yeah, everybody's rolling in.
They're rolling. Just give them another notice. Thank you for your patience this morning. We had a technical glitch. All right. Trying to turn Dr. Saxlove off. All right. Good morning, everybody. And so happy that you joined us today for this excellent presentation from the UCLA Career Center. You're going to hear a little bit more about
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
in just a moment. And we're going to make sure, if you're not on mute already, we're going to make sure that everybody comes in on mute. But please go ahead and put your name and your business name into the chat, and we will be able to address questions as well in the chat as we go forward. So I see some familiar faces on. Good to see you, Doria, as well. Good morning. And so for those that are new to PCR and the SBDC, we welcome you. It is here where we help businesses to start, grow. We've called it survive since the pandemic and to succeed. So we are looking forward and moving up, and we're excited to be here to give you some really great information on hiring. And we know how critical that is to the success of your business. I'm Colette Moore. I'm newly SVP, Senior Vice President here at PCR, but the Director of PCR's SBDC. And then China Spikes is our Associate Director, who's also on, and you'll hear from her later in today's program. So if you are new to the SBDC, know that there are 1,000 centers around the country for you to participate in with all of these great workshops. And the whole point is to stimulate economic growth in around the country and in your specific communities. So we're providing consulting, resources, training for small businesses. This is one of the training opportunities that we have. All of this, and whether it's business management, marketing, legal, and I'll share a couple of our other specialties on. This is no cost, no catch for you. There is a cost to these services. It's your wonderful taxpayer dollars. So we are very sensitive to that, and we want to make sure that it is effectively used. And we ask that you all do the same as you leverage the services. So for our center, there are 7 in the area as well. We are working with the LA area. You can participate in workshops with any of the centers. You can only get advising with one, but in our center, PCR SBDC, here's some of the specialties. We have a legal advisor to help you with incorporation, leasing, structure, helping you with business plan. We're leveraging Live Plan. If you're really gung-ho, we can get you really started on a plan. We help you with financial projections. We'll share some of those workshops going forward. Marketing, social media, record keeping, and bookkeeping, which you got to keep track of your money. Procurement, restaurant and hospitality, construction, and then of course HR. And so HR is a really critical area for us. And so as we go through, we're going to put a poll up, but why is it that you guys think HR is so important in hiring? Because even though I know you all are all very talented and you have great ideas for your businesses and all. You have all of that, but at the same time, your employees are the lifeblood of the organization's success, right? That's how you succeed, is with really great employees. They're the right employees will carry out your mission. So all those things you've been thinking about, they're carrying out your business plan. They are helping to influence customers as well, and hopefully propelling your growth so you don't have to do everything. So very, very important that you think about as you're planning for growth, who's on your team and who's going to be working for you for the benefit of your organization. So I'm so happy that we've been able to partner with UCLA and the Career Center today on this workshop. So 6 out of not 67%, let's end the poll. Anybody else in there? Okay, so 60% of you say you do have employees of some type already. That's wonderful in terms of helping you to grow, but I know having employees can be hard, so we can help with that. And we also have an advisor who's a HR specialist, so if you ever have any other questions, she can help with that. And then 40% are saying not yet. So that's why you're on the call, anticipating the growth and figuring out how you're going to get some really good staffing for your business. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm excited that you all are thinking about growth and your employees. So we have two great presenters today from UCLA Career Center. And I'm so happy they reached out to me and I was like, yes, we definitely want to do something with the UCLA team. So, and I'm also a grad. I got my MBA from UCLA, but I also went to USC. So, you know, I'm on both sides of the city. That's all I can say. But happy to have our UCLA partners here with us today. So Stella, as you all see, Stella, raise your hand. She joined the Career Center in 2019, just before the pandemic, it sounds like, and currently serves as Industry Relations Manager. She does engineering and technology industries, and she also works closely with the Samuel I School of Engineering to identify areas of synergy, create pathways for an industry collaboration, and develop innovative programming. So she is data-driven as well and has a deep understanding of the dynamic nature of industry trends and student engagement. So she's talking to these folks as well. She has her BA in economics from the University of California at Riverside and is currently pursuing her MBA at the Anderson School. I didn't know that, Stella. Okay. So, all right, she'll be a fellow alum. All right, and Lilia is an industry relations manager. She has over 20 years of experience in career services, and that's our matching piece. She's dedicated to assisting employers within entertainment, consumer services, and health industries make impactful connections at UCLA. As a multicultural woman with a background in psychology and criminal justice, Lilia values justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And when she's not connecting students with meaningful opportunities, she volunteers at her local nonprofit organizations, assisting seniors, animals, and expanding the world of arts in her community. So I'm excited. That's an overview of these ladies. I'm excited to share this presentation with you all, and then also the upcoming presentation that they'll be bringing today. But today it's about how to recruit from universities. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the UCLA Career Center team. And guys, I was talking fast because I know we started a little late. So again, appreciate your patience. Go for it, ladies.
Thank you. Sorry, it took me a while to unmute myself. So to get started we wanted to ask an icebreaker. So in 1 to 3 words, how would you best describe your experience as being a small business owner? So we wanted to just get an idea of currently as business owners, how you are feeling and how you're navigating the many challenges and rewards that come with owning a business. So feel free to type it in the chat. Or you can say it out loud as well if you'd like.
Stop.
Stagnant.
Yes, stagnant. Independence.
Independence. That's very true. And what industries are you in where it's feeling stagnant?
Rewarding, challenging,
Mm.
tiring, exhausting.
It's life balancing it out, the rewards and challenges, unlimited opportunities, lean business model, lots of work. Education, rewarding, overwhelming. Do you feel like there's ebbs and flows whenever it comes to the to how often you're feeling overwhelmed, or do you just feel like it's constant?
Constant.
Constant, gotcha. But that's why we're here to help you build your team and not have to have everything on your shoulders. And then there's more things in the chat. The times are changing. Yep. The economy's changing, and that's something that that you just have to learn to navigate. The economy is never going to be constant. Even just looking at the stock market, like historically, it's always going to be going up and down. But the good thing to remember whenever the economy is not in a great place is that the only way it can go is up. So that's something that you will learn how to navigate, and it does become extremely rewarding. And then the offer fee for services, because I have been doing everything myself. And then for companies that have been doing everything themselves, how long have you been by yourself? Because I think over time, that's when it can start. That's when the stress can start building. 10 months. 2.5 years. Nice. So there's still, while you're not completely new, it's still like, as far as like the lifetime of a business, it is relatively early on, but that's also a great time to make changes. So thank you all for sharing that. That was really helpful. That was really helpful and insightful. And I hope that you all got to learn something about your fellow colleagues as well. So to start off with, there we go. To start off with, when it comes to recruiting on campus and getting connected to universities, and also for companies that don't necessarily have like established like website yet, or means of like gathering resumes, getting started on Handshake is a great way for you to establish company presence on campus. And essentially it's like it's sort of like a LinkedIn for your business, but you get to connect with different universities, and you're able to post your jobs on there, create a company profile, and also see what kinds of events different campuses hold. So it's the primary platform that connects students, employers, and universities, and it really does help streamline the recruiting process. So what's really nice about it is that you're able to post one position, but still recruit and talk to students from a variety of schools. And one of the most important things, especially for small businesses when they're getting started, is making sure that you are presenting yourself in a way that's going to be competitive to the large scale businesses you want to get sort of like the framework of it laid out, and make sure that your description, website, industry, physical address, and company email are really clearly stated on there, because whenever critical information like that is missing, especially recently with there being so many different like scams and phishing emails that have been going out to students, it can be it can create obstacles when it comes to laying out a successful recruiting strategy. So having that set and then adding the universities of your choice will set the framework for establishing a strong connection with different universities. And if you are looking to take a university specific approach, so if there's one university that you are really interested in connecting with, and this can be maybe like the university or college that you are an alumni of, or that you're interested in attending or are currently attending, what you want to do is really take the time to explore the Career Center's website there, or not just the Career Center, but also maybe different disciplines or majors that that your university is representing. And you want to connect with staff that is specializing in on-campus recruiting, because they will really be able to kind of guide you and provide you insights on when the best timelines to come to campus are, or what sort of strategy in terms of reaching out to different student groups, or presenting your opportunities, what the best strategy is going to be. Because sometimes it can be like, oh, we post a job and you're thinking, why am I not getting any applicants? What am I doing wrong? And it can be such a small like technicality, like, oh, not using the correct filters, or maybe you posted it at a time that is finals week, so students aren't really checking. So keeping those things in mind and being aware of them can really help make sure that you have a smooth recruiting process. And then another thing that you'd want to do is look at the degree and program offerings that the university has, because based on what your specific needs are for the role or roles that you have, you want to make sure that you're really effectively utilizing your time and resources to making sure that you are not recruiting candidates that might not be a fit for the role. And then for the third point, which I think is the most important one, is identifying synergies with the campus. So as a small business, what's going to set you apart is that you're not going to be under like the rule of a large business that can limit you from really being innovative and able to push boundaries when it comes to industry. So what you want to do is really find ways that you connect with the campus's mission and goals, and present that to the university and be able to build a strong connection with them. And engaging alumni and building campus presence can really help you in terms of making sure that you're staying up to date with the academic and research portion of progression within the industry that you are in. And also being connected to university really helps you stay up to date with the dynamic nature of society. So that's also another really great reason to make sure to stay connected. And then another area that you can look into that I don't think many people know that is available is looking at demographic data on that university, which can provide you insights that can help you reach any sort of DEI goals. Or if you're interested in again, like how I had mentioned before, like recruiting maybe a certain discipline and want to see which university has like maybe a higher portion of students in that program, you can look at this information prior to starting recruiting. So that, again, it's really going to help make sure that since you don't have the bandwidth to go and recruit at all these campuses, that you're really maximizing the time and resources that you do have. And I'll go ahead and make sure to share the link after the presentation. We have several links that we can go ahead and share with you all. And last but not least, it's the digital presence, because nowadays with our technology driven society, people are going to be looking you up, making sure that your company has a good online presence, and also that there's people being engaged with your company. So doing something simple like just having a LinkedIn profile or or even handshake, but I do want to kind of emphasize that that it's not only handshake that students are going to be checking. So making sure that your LinkedIn is up to date and that you're posting updates and sharing your company initiatives and achievements, and also sharing knowledge and insights on what your company is working on will really help garner presence within your community, and also make your opportunities more accessible to students and or individuals looking for full-time careers. And it just shows your support in moving towards a strong workforce, and that's something employees really do appreciate and want to see in the company that they are working for. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the next section? I see some in the chat. Oh, Tamisha, we're gonna get into the internships in the next portion. So I don't know why the spaces did not go. It's fine. When it comes to targeting during recruitment, so one of the things that you really want to make sure that you refine is the job postings, and I will show a couple of examples following this slide. But one of the things, after like going through like thousands and thousands of jobs and approving them and seeing which ones students tend to apply to the most and what makes those jobs easily accessible to students, it's important to understand the system that you're essentially sharing your opportunities on, because there's a way. So for example, when you think about Handshake or even LinkedIn, there's a way that we post the jobs that allow us to use filters and categories that make students easily able to find them, but not everyone chooses to use those filters. So making sure that you utilize like job role filters, majors, school years to increase visibility is really helpful whenever students are searching for the job, because students aren't going to be sifting through 40,000 jobs. So they're obviously going to look at what is going to be the most relevant roles to them. So you want to use those filters, but also make sure that you're not using filters in a way that can be excessively limiting, such as like putting a GPA requirement on there, because one of the things that we have insights on is that GPAs usually they might be like a freshman that just came in and it was like their first classes, and you don't want to limit their opportunities just based on a technicality. And then the next one is transparent wages. So California labor law requires that all positions based in California include an estimated pay or salary range. But also this is important because as we do move away from unpaid internships and just really show students that their work is valued, it is really helpful and also for the business to be able to compensate their staff versus having free labor, because you have a different approach towards it. And the way I think of it is like, especially for small businesses, since one additional staff member on your team has such a big impact and sort of like and share within your company. So would you be willing to give that share away for free if they have such a big influence over it? So that's the way that you can look at is the way that I'm compensating this employee, whether they're an intern, going to benefit and reflect positively on my business. And then for the job description, you want to use relevant and value adding language. And in the next slide, you'll see the difference between value adding and non-value adding language. And you want to assign duties that reflect professional development that coincides with your company's mission. So a lot of times people post just very like generic tasks and duties, and that can deter students from really engaging and connecting with that opportunity. So in the next slide here, so I took two samples of job descriptions that were currently on Handshake, and they're from small businesses, and one of them had over 50 applicants and another one had 0. So, and I just took a small snippet of it. They're a lot longer than this. But so going over this one, you can see that really clearly states the type of technology that's going to be required for the role. And it's saying that you don't have to have it, and it's saying that you don't have to have a specific degree like a computer science degree, but if you know these technologies, that means you will most likely succeed in the role. And this helps with building a team that does have the technical skills required for the job, but also make sure that you have a diverse team that isn't just like, for example, like computer science majors. So you're able to have a really multifaceted and holistic team that way. And the requirements and then the offer also, they're not too long, but they're detailed while still being concise. And it really clearly states what the offer is going to be, and also a very clear timeline. So this is a way to positively reflect your just to reflect different duties within the role. And for the next one here, so this one was the one with no applicants, and as you can see here, it's not specific, and the terminology states, okay, this is what they are going to do, but not necessarily how. And it is an unpaid internship, but it doesn't necessarily translate into how that's gonna turn into academic credits, because that's something that I think when it comes to internships, that a lot of employers, they say, oh, it can be, I don't have to pay them if it can just get converted to credits. But in order for it to be able to get converted to credits, there's a lot of approval processes that have to happen with the academic department. So it's something that you definitely have to look at, are these skills coinciding with like specific major. And so for like the learning outcomes and goals, it just says gain teamwork experience with the assessments, and that is very generic. And then the supervision, again, generic, doesn't really tell me anything specific. And then the start and end date, it's saying using terminology such as like typically, and then the end date is flexible between 1 and 12 months duration. That's a very, very broad timeline to have an internship, but that also doesn't necessarily prove that that company has a solid structure in which a student can have like a set list of things that they're going to learn and benefit from. So these are different ways that we've observed whether students apply to a position or not. Obviously, there's never going to be a job description that's going to be perfect, but these are just a few pointers to keep in mind whenever you are building a job description for a potential opportunity that you have. And the biggest takeaway, I think, would be finding alignment and really showing how a certain position is going to really, really cultivate an individual's purpose and mission, and also their values, and move them up to the next level. Okay, and then whenever you do recruit, you want to target with diversity, equity, and inclusion in mind. And from a 2021 McKinsey study, it stated that organizations in the top quartile of ethnic diversity are likely to outperform competitors in revenue by 36% and make better decisions 87% of the time, and also and in turn make higher profits. And this is due to the fact that diverse organizations, they're really able to approach different obstacles and issues in the workplace with a group of people that have a variety of different perspectives. And while you might think, oh, we're never going to agree on something, having healthy disagreements within the workplace can really help expand the way that you approach problems, and make sure that you are having a positive impact on a greater portion within your community, which in turn leads to a company having more success and building their brand and growing. And because of this, and like how I had mentioned earlier, small businesses, there's a greater impact on the business per employee, and that really does have an impact on how your company succeeds. And investing in your team can really help prevent high turnover rates. And high turnover rates, obviously, in the long run, they are going to lead to even more costs for you versus like investing a bit more time in recruiting the right person. And also it's going to misallocate your resources. And you really want to evaluate candidates holistically on present and future value, not only what they can provide in the time that you need them, which I know in times where you like really need to hire someone or get additional help, you're not necessarily thinking of future value, but just think about it in terms of making sure that that when you think ahead, when you think with a futuristic approach, you are presenting cycles like this from constantly recurring, which is something that can prevent your business from propelling forwards. And another way to make sure that DEI is incorporated within your company is looking at to connect with student organizations, because this allows students that have common interests yet might have like a different skills or diverse backgrounds to really come together. And an example of this would be Bruin Entrepreneurs, and they held a small business fair last year. So that's also another great way that you can meet organizations that have common interests. And it is a hub for academics, interests, and cultural backgrounds. And it's just, you're able to connect with a group of diverse students that have a common purpose and means of finding fulfillment. And in the picture here, we had our student organization sponsorship awards last week. So we were able to connect with our employer partners, and they donated scholarships for 6 student orgs that submitted applications. So that's a really great way to connect with student orgs and stay on campus. Ooh, next one. And then I will go ahead and pass it over to Lilia. Does anyone have any questions before we move forward? No? Okay. Lily, do you want to share your screen, or do you want me to?
If you could just continue, that would be.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you are gaining a lot of information so far, and I'll continue with talking about expanding awareness and increasing your brand engagement on at your local colleges and universities and other resources. And so I'll start first. And I don't think we have a poll. So if just you can use the chat, or if you want to unmute and just tell us about what is the growth trajectory for your small business.
Hello, are you wanting responses in real time?
Yes.
Okay, well, hello. I am with Sister Friends Women's Counseling. We are a nonprofit that helps women of color and women in general with mental health and placement. We are on the trajectory to hopefully find at least 3 to 4 students to come in looking to get their degree in psychology or psychiatry, and that is the trajectory that we're currently on. We need to add at least 3 or 4 more. We've gotten a lot of grants and businesses, and we need assistance.
Thank you for sharing. And ND, I see that you have not started your business yet, and kudos to you for being here and being proactive and getting all of the information as you're looking towards getting started. We're all at different levels.
Thank you. I haven't even decided exactly which business, the area in which I might get the help, hopefully would be in social media. to be more active, because I'm one person office and it's a lot of work. So that would be an example for me.
Absolutely.
If I may also add into that, for myself, as a single member LLC, definitely looking to engage potentially 3 students in 2024 to help with social media, administrative assistance, accounting, design, so I can focus solely on branding my clients.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's so much. You guys are doing some really great things. Education, nonprofit sector, looking to continue to advocate and deliver STEM ed for students within our community while gaining presence with our city. That's amazing. I'm building out a profitable studio program for students to learn how to run a studio and hoping to get them paid to run it. Yes. Needing help with audio engineers, producers, administrative, marketing, video producers. Awesome. And Raymond currently outsources all work that's beyond your availability. 1099 contractors, in the process of considering hiring again at some point next year, whether that's international remote employers or local part-time. This is great. Awesome. And thank you for looking at international remote employees too. We have international students that are able to take on internships and experiential learning opportunities. So it's good to mention that you are interested in internationally, whether it's outsourcing remote international hires, but we also have international students. Next slide, please, Stella. Thank you. And so small organizations start at different levels, and it is really helpful. We see all types. I'm going to share a story about an employer that came to us over 15 years ago, a startup in Silicon Beach. I'm not sure if it was called Silicon Beach yet, but they came, they had a handful of team, I think it was under 5, looking to start an internship program, and I met with our internship coordinator or manager at the time to establish an internship program. We got them started, educated them on what an internship is and what's required as an internship, which we'll be teaching you next week. Haley and Tim will be doing a presentation next week on internships, so tune in for that as well. And now 15, 16 years later, this startup from Silicon Valley with under 5 employees is now really popular. Has anybody heard of Snapchat? Snapchat started with an idea. I'm not sure if it was out of their garage or how they got started, but they were very small. And now I think that most of young and adult people know of the social media app that is now Snapchat. So they come at different levels, and engaging with your campus is very important. So as your business grows, it's important to increase your strong brand, not only for your products and or services, but also for your business ethics and your recruitment efforts. Building your brand on a campus increases your brand and creates a talent pipeline. So as you engage with your campus, you're putting your name out there. Whether you're investing your time to meet with students, to engage with them, and they're aware of that. And as they see you, oh, she spoke on a panel about the nonprofit, being in a nonprofit or starting a nonprofit, or what she looks for when she's recruiting interns or candidates. And anytime that you give back to the students, whether you talk about your business at all, just you giving your time to help with their professional development, always leads them to ask, so what is it that you do? Or what is your nonprofit? How can I join you? I love what you do. Let's do this together. How can I be a part? And then they also tell their friends. So word of mouth is still very important and still alive. still stay on that one. In addition, you'll build a relationship with the with your university. In our case, it would be with the UCLA community, the different organizations that we work with, from our campus partners, departments, and student organizations. And then the more active you are with your campus, you'll learn about student trends and trends in the industry that you're in. Next slide, Stella. And so engagement, what does that look like? So I've listed a few budget-friendly ways to stay engaged on campus. So if you start off at the job posting an opportunity on Handshake, and just to let you know, Handshake isn't exclusive to UCLA. There's over 300 community colleges and universities that use Handshake. And so when you create your account, you can select which universities you want to post with. And if you post at UCLA and you receive applications and you want to interview everybody in one day, we do have interview room space that you can use. You can schedule to a day to interview students. And then we also have career chats. Career chats is when you'll have like a table set up during our drop-in or internship lab sessions. That's Monday through Thursday. Internship lab is a time that we have available for students to come and talk to us about internships. So if you're looking at recruiting for interns, you may be interested in scheduling a day to join us and meet with students that are coming in to talk about internships. And career chats, very same thing, also open for drop-in during internship lab or drop-in counseling. The drop-in advising is a short session with a career peer or career educators where students can talk about anything, have their resume reviewed, interview tips, any type of career questions that they have. So you can join us and schedule a time to be with us either during internship lab or drop-ins. Our coffee chats, so career chats are free. Coffee chats, there is a fee involved, but it's a time that you select that meets your needs and it's specific just to you. And it'll be marketed as your organization, and students can sign up and schedule a time to meet with you, or you can set it up as a drop-in where they just stop in to say hello and learn about the opportunities that you have available. You are able to donate swag and or refreshments for any of our events or programming that we have. You can join us on our resume review days. So if you're interested in volunteering your time to look over students' resumes, that's one way of helping them with their professional development, and also engaging with them and learning about what our students are interested in and possibly how they fit in your organization. So it's not a recruitment event, it's a professional development, but networking is happening all of the time. You can volunteer to be a mentor. We have a Career Ready boot camp that takes place every year in about January, and it literally is a boot camp. So 3 days filled with career information, and all of the students that participate in the boot camp do get a mentor. And so if you're interested in volunteering for that or being a mentor, we always welcome that as well. Being a panelist for any of our career education programs. So we do so many different panels on either industries or just how to get an internship. What does a job search look like? And if first gen transfer. So if you were a first gen student as a college student or a transfer, and you'd like to give back to that population or any of our populations, we do invite you to volunteer to be a panelist. And I'm sure that this is across the board at all colleges and universities. You can sponsor a scholarship. You're interested in providing a scholarship to students, we can help facilitate that. or you can sponsor one of our large events. Next slide. And another way that you can stay engaged with your campus is the employer partner program. So UCLA does have an employer partner program, and most universities do have some type of partnership. And I'm going to put in the chat the link right now so that you can check out our program. And so this is I'm gonna give you 3 reasons to join, that you would be interested in joining the employer partner program at our university or any of the colleges in your area. And it does value adding relationships and campus connections. And you do get valuable brand awareness with students and affairs and services, relationships, and donations. So we highlight our employer partners. We do highlight all opportunities through Slack channel to our students, there's over 800 students that are signed up to look at the opportunities in our Slack channel. We send out bi-weekly newsletters. Of course, we can't share all of the opportunities or highlight all of them, but when you're an employer partner, we do make sure that your opportunities are highlighted when you do post. We have different levels, and we do have one that's specific for small businesses or government agencies, because we realize that we want to make it accessible to all businesses at whatever level they're at. And next slide, Stella. And so here is some data on collaborating with universities. And this graph shows what the outcome was before the engagement and after being promoted or having that extra engagement and relationship with our center. And so as you can see, the blue is the significance of applicants. This year we had a local organization that's a very small in Westwood. They do pet treats, and they came in wanting to engage. They attended our career fairs, and prior to their engagement, prior to the career fair and meeting with us, they did have job postings, and it had just a couple of students. Since their engagement, they have over 20. And we worked with them on how to write their job description to make sure that it was inclusive and it was following the federal labor laws on being an internship, and their opportunities, or the candidates the applications that they have received are over 20. So it is a significant outcome when you're engaging with your campus partners. Next slide. Okay, and so that is our presentation. We're both open to any questions you may have, any reactions, any light bulbs that clicked from what and we just shared with you, etc. Anything.
And you guys can come off mute if you have any questions. Just wanted to thank Lilia and Stella for the great information that you all shared with us today. Hopefully everybody was able to take away some good information to help to grow your business in a way to hopefully add new employees to your team to help you out. And we have a prize for those of you that are still on. And that prize is a book. It's called The Ideal Team Player. It's about leadership, and Lilia or Stella are going to share a question, and the first person who enters the correct answer in the chat will win this book. So I'm not sure, Lilia or Stella, if you guys have the question.
Lilia, did you want to ask? Or
Could be from any of the content that you guys shared today.
oh, okay, okay. What is a benefit of having DEI in your organization?
And that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay.
Problem solving. Yes, that
Problem
is a good,
solving.
that is a benefit.
Awesome. So Connor Lott, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Awesome. So please, if you can, Connor, if you can send your information to Briogeny Sanders. She is our marketing coordinator. She will make sure that this book gets to you. We have a little bit more information to share with you all as well. So wanting to see if you want to get connected, get and stay connected with UCLA Career Center. If you can drop that in the chat, we don't actually have a poll, but if you can drop that in the chat, a yes or no, we would love to hear your feedback. We got a lot of yeses. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, and if you do have Handshake, or if you don't and you do make a handshake, feel free to send any of us an email, and we'll make sure that we get you approved and onboarded. So let us know if you do make a handshake.
Okay. I have a question. I was the person who said stagnant, of course. Been running my business now for about 1.5 years, about 2.5 years now. I work full time. I do it part time. We don't offer a product, we offer services. And so it wouldn't be so much as an employee in the beginning. It's more of an internship opportunities based on my own education, because I can supervise social workers. I can also supervise nurses and different people from those fields. How do that work?
It would be the same. So on the job description, like one of the examples that Stella shared, where it said just supervision, letting them know who's going to be
Yeah.
supervising. And
Okay.
so we want to make sure that a professional in the field is supervising the student in order to be an internship. So because it's
Yes.
an educational aspect, and the intern needs to be the primary beneficiary. So just making it clear on what that looks like. So who it is. For example, if you are recruiting an accounting person, a student in accounting for an internship, but they are the accountant, then that would not qualify as an internship. So
Yeah.
just making that clear in the job description, and that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I will be, say, recruiting other people with master's degrees, or getting their master's degree in social work, or getting their degree, have BSW in social work. I can supervise, or people in a psychology program. I can give so many hours. And then I'm also a nurse too, from UCLA School of Nursing, and I can also I can also supervise in certain areas with that as well.
Yeah, and so if there are different areas that you're recruiting for interns, so especially if they're different, make sure to do a job posting for each one, because the two job descriptions will be different for each area. And so if you're doing multiples in different areas, then I would do separate job descriptions so that it's clear to the students. And you'll be most likely approved for your internship when you have one posting saying, I have 10 internships in these areas. That doesn't give anybody enough information on what their expectations will be, what the responsibilities will be. So as clear as you can be on each job posting, and that's perfect.
Okay.
We have a question in the chat. Once we have joined Handshake, do we send the email directly to recruiting@career.ucla.edu?
Yes. Yes, you can do that. It may usually when you create your Handshake account, it takes about a day or two to get approved. So you feel free to reach out and to that email. That's our email for all of our recruitment activity. And depending on your industry, so each Stella works in one industry, I work for the other, they'll assign you to the correct industry. So there's 4 of us. So if you're a nonprofit, Tim Marr is the connection, and that's why I use the general email address, so that when you do inquire, you'll be directed to the industry relations manager that works with your industry.
Perfect. Any more questions?
Yeah, I had a question. Thank you so much for putting this on. So at the center I work at, the Watts Empowerment Center, we have tons of roles and tons of opportunities where I guess the question is, are there any pipelines where it's not so much the one-on-one to students, but more of like, hey, the educational department, are you able to market to any and all your students, hey, all of you, you can help with after-school tutoring at this nonprofit and get experience and kind of make a pipeline that's a little wider so it's not so much one-on-one? Is there anything set up either within Handshake or within UCLA that would allow that to be easier?
Yeah. Yes, so we have info sessions that do come with an email that we send out to students, and all UCLA students, they automatically have a Handshake profile. So what's really nice about having everything streamlined on there is that we're able to like pull different opportunities, and based on the relevance of those opportunities to certain student groups, like let's say you want to target everyone within a specific major, we can do direct outreach to students, and that usually comes in the form of us doing internship newsletters, or if your company is going to have like an info session, and it can be virtual or in person, that comes with its own company specific outreach email. And then another way to talk to a lot of students all at once is during career fairs, and those are also a great way to reach a large number of students all at once. And then you'll have several reps with you, and you can just come to students. And for the virtual fairs that we have, there's also an option to do group sessions. So that way you'll have students that are registered, and then in like one big Zoom room like this, you'll be able to share the opportunities that you have. So yeah, there's a lot of different avenues, both virtually and in person, that's possible.
Okay, and so with the Handshake part you mentioned, so if we do the postings, then that's curated on your team side about what opportunities are looking the most promising or whatever, and then putting it out?
Yes. So once we approve you as an employer, then as you post jobs, you can choose which schools to get the jobs approved at. And then once we approve it as a university, we're able to see how many students applied, how many saves it got, and also we're able to share it with students through emails. And with that, we're able to see like how many clicks those positions got, etc. So that's a way that we track and refine information.
Okay, and does Handshake also have like more of a volunteer or like service hour type
Yes,
option? Okay.
Yeah, so you can post volunteer opportunities. They have like experiential learning, co-ops, jobs, internships, and volunteer opportunities.
Sweet.
Awesome. 1 second before any other questions. I know we kept you guys a little bit longer. We started late. It is 1:04, so if you need to leave, please go ahead and leave. We do have another workshop coming up next week. So this is tips for building a successful internship program. That is going to be next week, Thursday on the 14th. We also have on Monday a webinar for 5 C's of credit. These are all of our financial workshops that are upcoming, and then just a list of our other workshops that we have brought to you by our business advisors that facilitate these workshops. There will be a survey that comes out to you all. Please complete the survey. Let us know how the session went, what you learned, how can it get better. We always are looking to advance and grow ourselves as well, so we can be a better service to you. PCR is a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institute, so we do provide access to capital funding for your small businesses as well. Just a little bit more information on that. And as a result of what you learned today, what are you going to do? Throw that in the chat, please. As a result of all of the information that you consumed from Ms. Lilia and Stella, what are you going to do with the information? Okay, set up Handshake.
I can send a link for that. Handshakes are really, it's super simple. It's like setting up like a social media account, but for your company. Join Handshake. And then you just make an employer profile.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Lilia and Stella, for facilitating this workshop today. Hopefully some of the clients will be able to go into Handshake and create those profiles, and we'll see some connections real soon.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing
Yes,
you
thank
next
you.
week.
Have a great one, everyone.